Hi everyone, it's Maggie, and today I'm doing something that maybe not a lot of you will appreciate, but hopefully you will, and it is a book unhaul, aka books that were on my shelf that I am going to be donating or trying to swap in for more store credit in my favorite store, Powell's. So most of these books aren't actually very controversial because they're not really books that I didn't like and I'm throwing away. They're actually in fact books that I enjoyed when I was younger, but I may not really want to have on my shelf anymore. If I don't plan on reading it again, or if I don't think I'm ever going to read it, then most likely it is in this pile that I have to show you, and it's a lot of books. Mainly I'm going to be going through the titles because, like I said, I might not have read them, so I can't really give you a good description of them. But here we go. The first book I have is Alana, The First Adventure by Tamara Pierce, and I remember really enjoying this book when I read it. It's just one of those that I don't think I'm ever going to read again. It is a middle grade novel. I think it's time to retire this. Next, I have The Taming of the Drew by Katie Maxwell. This is a book that I was interested in when I was about 13 or 14 years old because it was a cute little, very, very short romance novel. I no longer really am into these kind of novels, and I kind of wrecked it a little bit in the time that I owned it, so this one will probably be a donation one. Next, I have two Meg Cabot books. First, we have Codename Cassandra, which is part of the 1-800 Where Are You series, which I really, really enjoyed while I read it. I have one of the Mediator series. This is it just says Haunted. This isn't the first one. No, this is the fifth one. I think I kind of outgrew Meg Cabot as an author, but I remember I loved these books so much. Then we have another Tamara Pierce. This is a book that I bought and never actually ended up reading. It is Wild Magic, which is book one of the Immortal series. And again, I think it's something that I might have grown out of, and I don't think I would enjoy so much right now if I tried to read it. And I have so many books on my shelf that I really want to get to reading. I honestly don't think I'm ever going to pick these up. The next book, unfortunately, is another book that I bought and don't intend on reading. I bought this probably 3-4 years ago, and it's just not my cup of tea anymore. It's called When the Sea is Rising Red by Kat Hellison, and this book I'm pretty sure follows like vampires or something like that. It's just something that I'm not really into anymore. Like, I like maybe a different kind of mystical stuff. It's mainly the vampires thing. I was in a Twilight phase like most of us were, and I just really wanted to try to find another thing that I would enjoy, but I didn't even once try to read this, so after 4 years, I decided to retire it. Next is another donation book because I wrecked the front cover. You can't see it, but it has glue all over it. Like, I don't even know what I did, but it is The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong, and I love this series. I'm pretty sure that I read this 8th grade or 7th grade, and I love this series so much. I felt like it was written just for me, and it was so good. I don't think I'm going to reread it again, and it's not really pretty anymore, which is all my fault. I'm letting my hair down because it was just slipping and sliding out of this thing that you couldn't even see. So next is Love by the Book by Melissa Pimentel, and this was a book that I did read. I actually got it from one of those real nifty little take a book, leave a book kind of libraries that are outside people's houses. I did read this book, but it was very forgettable, and I'm not going to read it again, and I didn't have any sentimental attachments, so this book is by Lauren Oliver, and it is the second book in the series, I believe. Yes, it is the sequel to Delirium, and it is Pandemonium. I just didn't pick this one up fast enough after I read the first book. Next is a book that I bought for school, but I never ended up reading because it was like an optional summer read kind of situation, and I thought I was going to read it, but I didn't end up reading it. And it is by Frances Prose, and it's called Reading Like a Writer, a guide for people who love books and for those who want to write them. And, oh, maybe I will keep this. Never mind, I'm keeping this one. Blue Moon by Alison Noel. This is actually a second book in a series. I thought I was buying the first one, but I wasn't smart enough at the time, so I just went for it. And then I tried reading it, and then I realized it was the second one in a series, and I never got the first one. Then I have a book by R.L. Stine called Temptation, and this is a vampire book. I just don't think I'm going to end up reading this, and since my bookshelf is growing, I decided to retire it. Another book that I bought and thought I was going to read but didn't end up reading is Found, which is the first book in the Missing series, and it's by Margaret Peterson Haddix. And I read, I think, one of her books before and I loved it. And so I was just like, I need to get more of books that she has written, which might sound familiar because I still do that. But unfortunately, this didn't work out to my advantage in the fact that I didn't end up reading it. And I feel guilty now that I am giving away all these books I didn't end up reading, but someone else will probably enjoy it more than I might have. Yet another book that I grew out of, unfortunately, but I did enjoy when I started reading the series, is Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hook. And I really love this book at the time of it coming out. It had like magic, it had like a guy that could turn into a tiger, I think, and it was a prince and he was like really attractive and he fell in love with this girl from Oregon. I'm burning out. Can you tell? It's really hot right now. I'm getting a sweat stash. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are doing it. We are doing it. Next, we have a Shakespeare retelling, which is The Fool's Girl by Celia Rees, and this is a retelling of The Twelfth Night. Never got around to reading it. Probably never will. Oh man, I'm just getting rid of a lot of books that are just giving me flashbacks of like 6th grade Maggie. The next, like that, is called Beach Blondes, a summer novel. When I was that young, I didn't really have that much of a stamina for reading books or like sitting down and reading books for a very long time. So I kind of gave up on it, and then I always thought that I might go back to it, especially when I was at the beach, even though it's the Oregon coast and not at all like whatever coast they're on. Florida Keys. Yeah, not like the Florida Keys. I just don't see myself reading this. Ooh, bookmark. Gotta save you. Next, I have The Astonishing Life of Octavian Nothing, Traitor of the Nation by M.T. Anderson, Volume 1 of The Pox Party. That is a long, long title. I'm pretty sure, yeah, a middle grade. If it ever has the ages blah, blah, blah and up, it's a middle grade, basically. I really don't read middle grade all that much. I do sometimes, but I have to be in a very specific mood for it. I don't think I'm going to find myself reading this. The next 2 books are probably going to be the only controversial books that I'm showing. They are the first book of the Mortal Instruments series and the 4th book of the Mortal Instruments series. These are the only 2 that I own in this series by Cassandra Clare. I am one of those people that didn't really enjoy these books. I just couldn't get past the fact that they still tried to romance, even though they were pretty sure that they were brother and sister. That's just weird. I think that's a really weird author's choice. And then also with books following that, like after that was resolved, I just couldn't get over the fact that the main issues in the books, besides the like big drama, the like drama between Jace and Clary, were just that they didn't talk to each other. Like, that is the most infuriating thing as a reader for myself. I know a lot of people enjoy this series, but I just can't get over it. That's like a trope, or not trope, it's just like a writing style that I can't get over. When the 2 main characters are having issues because they don't talk to each other. I don't hate this series, I just don't really like it all that much. I still have the last 2 books in the Mortal Instruments series that I want to read because I definitely want to get the full effect of the series, and especially since I like the Infernal Devices a little bit more, I just really want to continue trying out her writing. Like, I really want to see if maybe the last 2 are maybe better. I don't know. But I'm still holding out hope that I will be pleasantly surprised. So that's it, guys. Please tell me down below if you indeed liked it. And I'm really sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings with the last couple books or any of the books. It's just that maybe they're not my cup of tea, but they totally can be yours, and I support you for enjoying it. Just support everyone. I love everyone. Okay. Oh, that was a weird ranty thing. And I come out with a video every single Saturday and Wednesday. I hope that you come back for more because I love making videos, and I love making videos for you guys. And I hope that you guys all have an amazing evening or morning or just rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.